Yo, what's going on? And good morning or good afternoon, whatever it may be in your respective region. We are in the building. Of course, it is your girl, Maura Ash, the Gumbo Show. I am live. I got another amazing guest, and I got Naja in the building. What's up, Naja?
Yo, what it do, what it don't, what's the business world? Y'all know what it is, man. We finally back with this interview, had a few hiccups with a
Yeah,
few
we
other
did.
guests.
Good evening or afternoon. How you doing today, Miss Lyrical?
I'm blessed. How are you? Good afternoon.
Doing well. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here today. We appreciate your time, of course.
No
Talk to
problem.
me. Our first question for you, I'm going to dive right in, is tell us who is Miss Lyrical? Who is Lyrical?
Oh, okay. So lyrical, first and foremost, is a woman of God. I am a mother of two artists, and one basketball player.
Okay.
I have a 30-year-old and I have a 22-year-old that lives in Miami, and then my daughter lives in Chicago. I'm a daughter. I'm a motivator. I'm a manager. I'm a label owner. I'm an author. I am a sister. Um, I'm low key like a small comedian because everybody thinks that I'm so funny. I am a very hard worker, very, very hard worker, a prayer warrior more so than anything. Um, and I'm a businesswoman all around the board, like all around the board. So
I love
that's
that.
thank you. Oh no, I'm a vocal coach too. I always leave that out.
Okay.
Mhm,
Awesome. So
mhm.
my first question, I have so many because I'm
Okay.
very intrigued by what you do,
I have so
and
many answers.
I also, I work with artists and things of that nature. A lot of them have adopted me, so to say,
Mhm.
to be their manager. And sometimes I feel like I don't have the proper tools or resources that I need to be sufficient at that. So, by you having experience, of course, and me kind of reading into your story prior, I was like very intrigued by what you do. And I was like, yeah, I would love to, kind of
Yeah.
talk with her and whatnot. So, one, I would like to know, how did you get into working with artists specifically? And was that something that was kind of just like thrown in your lap, or was it something that you already had a plan to do?
No, actually, I was thrown into it because my daughter decided that she wanted to be a rapper.
Okay.
And I actually am a singer too. So at that particular time, I was working in corporate America.
Mhm.
Um, I was in a band. My daughter was playing basketball, and she just decided one day that she did not want to play basketball anymore and she wanted to rap.
Okay.
So I didn't understand what was going on right then and there. So I was like, okay, well, nobody can manage my baby like me. So I'm gonna just dive into it because I was a manager at McDonald's. I was a case manager for AT&T. I was a State Farm agent with State Farm for like 9 years. Well, not an agent, but I was right up under the agent, and I worked in the agent's office. So I was like, well, I'm gonna just
You
handle
want
the business and do that.
right.
Yeah. So started managing her, and that's kind of how I got into the business. Not because I wanted to at all, at
So when
all.
you first got into the business working with your daughter, because that's going to be obviously different than just working with somebody on the street. It's somebody that you know very, very well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a more comfortable relationship, I feel like, on both ends of things. What was the first thing that you did?
Oh my God, that was so many years ago. Probably argued with her. Probably argued with her. Probably argued with her because Ashley is an Aries and she's very opinionated. Even at a young age, she knew what she wanted to do. She know how she wanted to look. Um, but she could spit, like she could rap. And I'm a poet by
Mhm.
nature. So, oh my God. I don't know
And
what
when
I
I
did.
asked that question, I mean, like, not like literal, like the first thing, but like, what was like one of the first steps that you had to take to be her manager? Like, what was something that, you remember that you had to accomplish in order for it to start, for the wheels to start rolling, so to say?
You know what? To be honest with you, I have no idea. I think I just because when you're a mom, you just jump into it.
Jump in.
So it
Mhm.
was I could think about that. Like I did like one on one, but I did Ashley got picked. She got noticed by a manager that was in the Rough Riders,
Okay.
and his name was
That's
Quick.
dope.
So Quick started managing her. It was like quick because me and
Quick
her,
was quick.
yeah, we were not seeing eye to eye on a lot of things. and they kind of just took off, because I cannot really remember like one specific thing that I did besides
Right.
like networking and trying to like make sure that anybody came around her was, 100% thorough, because I don't trust nobody. And I definitely
Mhm.
wasn't gonna trust anybody with my my vessel. So they took off and she started doing like amazing things, and she she conquered a lot at 14, 15, 16, just doing like this different stuff that she really kind of wanted to do. So it kind of went from there, and it was slow in the beginning, but then a lot of the hiccups was just me and her did not get along on the music front, because
Mhm.
what I thought that she needed to be doing, she just wasn't mentally prepared for it, and she kind of needed to, figure it out on her own, which she did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, have you, having been in the industry, say for nearly, 2 decades,
Yeah.
how have you seen the music management scene evolve?
Evolve. um I think music has evolved more so than management. Let
I
me
got
say
you.
that. I think with management, I've seen more situationships with management versus things that we should have been seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've seen a lot of artists depart from who they started with because of what they thought they should be doing.
Mhm.
And I've had that happen to me a couple times. But I've seen music evolve, and I've seen more managers like come up in the game, but not really kind of know what they were doing, or they felt like they could do everything. So, they put their artists in like bad situations, if that kind of
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But the evolution of management, I don't really know how to speak on that, because I don't really know how to speak on that.
Facts.
Before I throw it over to Naja, my last question is: what do you think are some of the critical key things that someone would need if they wanted to dive into a management career?
Well, first off, I think it's very important that you have thick skin. That's the first thing. I think, and over the years, my answer has changed, because I get this question a lot. That if and whatever comes off the tip of my mouth is what I'm supposed to say. I've learned that.
Mhm.
I think you have to really have thick skin. I think you also have to know business, period. Know business. Like, you need to have been a manager somewhere at some
Yeah.
store. You need to know how to read. You should have went to taken some type of college courses in something, business management,
Mhm.
marketing, something. And if you don't even have like that type of background, then you have to be a people person,
Yeah.
and you cannot be a yes person. You cannot be
Mhm.
scared to have a conversation. You cannot be scared to go
Negotiate.
with your
Mhm.
client. You cannot, because if you come in trying to pacify somebody and you just want to be right next to the artist because you just want to be cool with them or whatever the situation is, it's not going to work out in the long run, because you become a yes person. And so,
Become more of a friend, I feel like, than the
yeah, yeah,
management.
there's no
Mhm.
friends. You cannot be a
Mhm.
friend of, you can care about your client, but I think when you have to change the narrative of how you go in starting. Like, if you go in starting like, oh, this is my guy, or this is my girl, or this is my family member, doesn't always work out in the best way.
Mhm.
So you just got to be careful.
Facts.
You got to be
I feel
careful how
that.
you come in to this business in 2025. You have to, because the world has completely changed from when I jumped in it in 2012, and just seeing different things and different elements with different people, and how artists move and how labels move, and how public relations is now. You got to be careful. It's just a lot of stuff that you need to know as a person before you decide, like, oh, I want to help this person with their career. It
Mm.
is perfectly fine to just be that person's friend, right? But when you get into the business realm of it, and if you don't do business, you're going to make the wrong decisions, because their career is on the line. Anything that they do is critical. So if you're
Mhm.
not a person that knows when something clicks on real quick and it's critical, you ain't going to make it. you know
Yeah.
and if you want to make it, then it's okay to, now you can Google everything, or now you can get mentor. I mentor a lot of managers now that have come up in the game that have wanted to like ride up under me just to kind of see, because my management skills is completely different from a lot of people from what I've been told. I've been told that they refer me to Deb a lot. Just my mannerisms is, I'm sweet, but I'm a dog in the field because of just the different stuff that managers go through in the business. And a lot of people make mistakes of just being a friend, being too friendly, and forgetting about themselves.
That's some gems for everybody that's listening. That was some free sauce right there. You know what I'm saying? Ragu. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, this is interesting for me personally, because
Okay.
my support group for me, my family didn't understand hip hop. You know what I mean? So me chasing my goal, dreams, my aspirations, it was foreign to them.
Nice.
So for you to support your daughter, I think that's dope. And that's why you shake your head. This is really my question. So being a momager, as they like to quote it, call the term, you know, how did it what did it do to the relationship between you and your daughter outside of music? I'm curious. Like, because I heard that you said Quick had to come in and do it quick, you know.
He came in quick. Quick came in quick. You know what I mean? He was like, whoop, 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 I got it. I'm a Scorpio and my daughter is an Aries. I produce the Aries, and you all already know how Aries are. And then my son is a Sagittarius. So I manage my son as well. I manage his sports career and I manage him as an artist. I think the thing with Ash was that I was coming out of corporate America, getting into the business, and I kind of was like put into it. You know what I mean? So it's like I didn't even have a chance to think. It was like, okay, you're not just gonna be out, you finna go where? You can go do a video. No, I gotta be there to oversee certain stuff. The relationship for us has not always been the best because I had her when I was 16. So I was a baby having a baby. And I come from the type of family I come from, like a Huxtable family. So my parents are very nurturing, and my mother's a doctor, and they were always there. So my baby became a grandparent's baby because I was still young. Whereas I had Kamari when I was grown almost. You know what I'm saying? So now it's an 8-year difference between them, but the management with her was different because I'm in corporate. I'm trying to be a mother. I got a baby. You know, I'm trying to do too much. I'm doing too much. I know I'm doing too much. I don't know what I'm doing. Come to my son, it's like, oh, everything I learned from here, I got a Sagittarius now. It allows me to do everything because he's been everywhere. They've both been on tours. They've both been in the industry so long. But Kamari absorbed all the BS over here, where she might have felt like she didn't need to listen and she wanted to do it on her own. Now he listens and he does exactly what I tell him to do sometimes. So the difference on the outside was just our relationship. We tugged and pulled, love each other to death, but she's very strong-minded. She's been strong-minded since she was young. So me trying to tell her anything about anything dealing with her career and what she wanted to do, I don't even. Now she'll come to me, you know, or I overhear her and talking about something. But she's super successful now, so it all worked out.
I can relate to that. I had a baby, not young at 16, but I did have him young. I was still immature. I was 20.
Yeah.
So he became a grandma baby. So my oldest one, he's a grandma baby, or grandparent baby. I mean, he used to scream and holler. My mama used to drop him back off. Like, he a grandparent baby, even to this day. Like, you know, so I can definitely relate to that.
You can get where I'm coming from. It's hard. It's like, so my career definitely, when she's gonna laugh when she hears this, but it's definitely credited to her because I've always been in the background or a background singer. I was never supposed to be where I'm at. And I'm here because of that girl. But yeah. She would love this. I'm gonna tell her when I get home.
We're going to talk to you a little bit more about your singing career and dive into some other things as well as some fun questions right after this commercial break. Y'all know what it is. Y'all don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Yes, sir. We are back. Y'all know what it is. Your girl, Maura Ash. I still got Naja in the building. Hey, Naja.
Yeah, what's up, everyone? You know, it's a
Be
good
like, are
morning,
you
it's a
there?
good afternoon,
Hello.
it's a good evening.
Well, we still got Lyrical
Uh,
hanging out with us from Chicago, and
Hey.
we've been picking her brain and talking to her about her music management, her daughter, and her kids' career as well, and just being, in this industry as a female, as a Black female, all of those different things. So, when we went out to break, you were speaking a little bit about your singing career. Talk to me a little bit
Mhm.
about
Oh, okay. I just know how to sing. And I
that.
just used to be at my cubicle at work singing, and artists heard me singing and was like, "Oh, you need to come get in this band." And I used to sing in church. I used to sing. I went to a Christian school, so I was
Mhm.
always in choir. And I'm also adopted, so my musical side comes from my birth mom side. I eventually met them, but my aunt used to sing with the Whispers. So
Okay.
I was like, oh, and then
oh,
the piano. I did. My parents put me in certain activities that they knew that my parents, I guess my family knew about from documentation. And I just been singing all my life, but I never thought about like actually being an artist with it as well, because at that particular time I was doing spoken word, um,
Mhm.
and writing poetry and just just kind of living my life. And then I became a vocal coach, and then I had to take it seriously because I started coming into people's sessions and helping them with breathing and singing and harmonies. I'm on a lot of people records just doing background harmonies and stuff like that, but I never put my career to the forefront.
Love that.
Yeah.
Would you, if you had an opportunity?
Listen, I have so many people that want me to get in the studio and create just one song. And I've been thinking about it, but I'm like, you know what? I don't really want
Girl,
to.
don't get that check. That's easy. Easy peasy. Easy work right there.
I really need. I need to. I will one day. Um, I will one day. One day. That's one day. I am.
That's what's up. That we're gonna put that on the list of things to do.
Yes, and I'm a singer.
Lyrical's list of things to do. She
Yes.
gotta make a song. She gotta send it to the Gumbo Show so we can
Yeah.
play it.
Yeah.
So before I
That's
throw it
funny.
to Naja for the fun side of the questions, my next question for you.
Mhm.
So on the artist side of things, for an
Mhm.
artist that's looking to break into the music industry, right now that's like the thing.
Mhm.
Everybody, like, you put 10 guys in a room and I can guarantee about 5 of them rap or do some
Mhm.
type of music or something.
Yeah.
Nothing against it, nothing wrong with it. But I feel like with that much competition, so to say, in the same field, it
Yeah.
makes it makes the grit. You got to work. You really got to put in the work for it. So,
Yeah.
what would you say to somebody that is coming into the industry that just decided that they want to do music yesterday and they woke up today feeling inspired?
Mm. That's tough. So what I would tell, before I even say what I said, what I would tell them is to just try it. Find you an engineer, find a studio, just go in there. Go get in the booth. But when you get in the booth, understand that you have to be talking about something,
Mm-hmm.
and understand that it takes a special critique to make a record. It's not all, it's work.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
work. When you go in a studio, you should be well, after you come out, you should be tired, because it's not easy. It's sweet, but it ain't easy.
That part. And it's definitely once it hit, you good. But you still got, that's just the beginning.
That's just the
Like
beginning.
once you get that hit and people recognize you and you start getting booked and stuff, that's the beginning of the work.
Right. Is your
And
music
I tell artists all the time, like I work with so many artists and they be like, oh, I'm tired of performing that song. They be trying to perform like different songs every time they perform. And I'm like, bruh, y'all need to pick a song and push that record. Do y'all know like a lot of artists be performing and doing these songs 2, 3, 4 years, sometimes longer than that before they even get recognized.
Yeah,
And then when
like
they
the
get
song
recognized, you
that
gotta do it again.
yeah,
Like,
the song that hits for you, the song that the record that goes viral for you is the record that you have to perform. And then as you're performing that record, that's going to be the last record that you perform every time you perform, because that's your biggest record, because that's how they found you. That's how they gravitated to you. But a lot of artists don't know, like, just because you make a record, did you register your music? Do you know the difference between being a writer and a publisher? Who did you register through? Did you do it through ASCAP? Did you do it through
BMI,
yeah,
where you
like
at?
did you register on Song Trust? Did you do all of the things that you need to do to be able to get you some bread in your pocket? And also, do you understand what it is that you're doing? So I think a lot of times, like, they don't handle the business correctly, and it's some people out here really trying to get them. Like me, I'm trying to get people to understand, like, do it in the beginning so that you can learn the process. Just like when you go in the studio and you get in the booth or whatever, you got to handle your business first, because the music business is 90% business, 10% music. And I think that once people understand that, that you're taking this like you're going to clock in every day, then it's the same thing with a job. This is a job for you, so it needs to be serious of who you have around you. Everybody that's working with you should have a job. Everybody that's around you,
have a title.
that whole little ambiance of people that you have, everybody need a title. And as soon as somebody start not doing their job, they gotta go, because it's critical for you. Because life is critical now, and especially with the president that we got, well, whoever the person that we got in office right now, everybody needs to have their own business, because you need to start making some type of capital to be fine, because you don't know, nobody has no security right now.
Very true.
Yeah.
It's so funny because my husband and I both work from home. And he's working right now. And we was worried about him getting laid off because of all of that mess. The Monopoly man doing or whatever. And so he worked for FEMA. And so we was like worried about it. Girl, I ended up being the one. And I work for the hospital.
No, really?
Yep, they did a big cutback. They did a layoff on admin.
No.
And we work in HR, so we help with the admin portion of HR. And so so I was like, that's crazy. Like, we thought one thing and it went a whole different
went the other way. But that's okay, because God got something bigger and better. And on top of that, I think it's now starting to force people into the perspective of, like, if God gives you some type of inkling of, like, okay, I love doing this, then whatever you love, that should be your business. You just have to create a way to make it a service department. You know what I'm saying? And so once because that's what I'm telling my 22-year-old, like, yeah, you got basketball, you doing your stuff, but
you need to brand yourself.
You got to brand. Now we have to brand everything, which he has his own brand or whatever, but it's scary times now, because a place where you used to be able to get a job should be the security. Now it's the place where you work for yourself is becoming the security, because they letting people go people have jobs for 35, 40 years, and then you just wake up in the next morning, you don't have a job. And we dealing with somebody in there that doesn't care.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, like,
I mean, we got somebody in there that's constantly every day almost, it seems like, taking more jobs away. So it's like we already struggling trying to find jobs, and then you keep getting rid of more of them,
So it make you really get on your hustle and get on your grind to kind of figure out, like, what's best for you. And I think I'm just an advocate of people just figuring, like don't people jump to the music because they feel like they have a sound. Well, first off, just because you have a sound, it needs to be sonically correct.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It has to be sonically correct, and it has to make sense to the consumer. The basis of it is you want to find your community of people. Do not rely on just getting in here, just making some mess, because you're going to waste so much time when we don't have no time, clearly, to be trying to figure it out. You need to get some money in your pocket, and you need to figure it out. So now, instead of you going to make a song,
because it costs money.
It
to do that.
costs right now. It's costing. So guess what?
Mhm.
Learn what you have to register. Get your stuff in order. Use that job that you got that you don't want to have to take care
Invest
of
in
yourself.
yourself.
And then go into the booth.
Yep.
Go do this. Make sure you have. So people keep hearing about, oh, I want to own my masters, and oh, I want to do this, and oh, I want to do that. Okay, yeah, that's cool. But make sure a lot of artists are not taking hard drives into the studio. Like
Mhm.
it's so much stuff with the music business. This is a job. And it's a pleasurable job once you've had it for so many times, or if you can make it make sense in a short amount of time. But everything in your life right now is so critical. You have to make things make sense.
And
That
it's
like
a lot. It's also a lot. And I do take that into consideration too,
yeah,
especially for somebody that's like a newer artist. Like a lot of
yeah.
artists that I work with, some of them just started rapping like 6 months ago or stuff
Mhm,
like that. And so I get it. You know, we got one from Chicago,
mhm,
Baby Jerk. Shout out to Baby Jerk. He from Chicago and he
mhm.
rapping. He been here for like 6 months. He been doing it for like 6 months. And so
Okay.
it's like I understand that it take time for them to even digest all of this stuff because it is a
Yeah,
lot of
it's a lot.
information. It is a lot of stuff that they have to kind of sort out and know what direction they want to go in, and what they want ultimately for themselves, what type of career
Yeah.
they want, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
but it's just so much. And I tell them all the time, like, unless you got a savings account and you got some money stacked up, you gotta work. Like you gotta work. You can't do this full time. Like not yet.
You have to work. I'm so happy you said that. Like you have to have something that's gonna fund your career. If you want to get in this, everybody is not blessed to have parents to be able to like, here, I'm gonna give you this amount of money or whatever. Because now it used to be back in the day where if you have an artist, people will want to latch on to the artist because that artist was gonna make them big because they're using their services, right? Now everybody want to get paid for their service.
Mhm.
You know what
Mhm.
I mean? So now it's like, okay, you got to be able to have money for the equipment. You got to be able to have money to fund the clothing. Stylists ain't even trying to come style nobody for free no more. They want to, you got to pay for this and we'll take it back. You know what I'm saying? So it's critical right now. Like life is just critical. People are in a critical stage of life. And that's why I'm so transparent and I tell the truth. Like this, it look good. Yeah. It takes a long time to
Get that look.
make it make sense though.
Mhm.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It takes a long time to
Mhm.
be able to make it make sense. And it's cool if you get a hit and you can keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, fine. But have the right people around you. Be able to take constructive criticism. Be
Mhm.
able to deal with somebody telling you, no, that don't really look good. You know what I mean? Listen to people that have had experiences before you even jumped in the game so you don't have to go through what they went through. You don't know everything because this is something that's new.
Yeah.
Um, and make good music. And if you don't know what good music is, then outsource it and start going to like different places or going
Mhm.
to like open mics and just
Yep.
not participating, but just sitting and listening. And then
Mhm.
once you listen, you be like, oh, that's garbage. Or I don't want to sound like that. Guess what? You're not
Mhm.
going to sound like that because you took the time to actually go outside.
And
Like
hear what other people
go
producing.
outside and go hear other people's stuff and then network and rub elbows with people so you don't waste your time in this because I've seen people that's still trying. I'm talking about still trying and you should have been had accolades and you should have been here and you should have been there and you should have touched and received with different people, but because you didn't listen,
Mhm.
still trying to figure it out. And now you 35, 36, the industry does have an age.
Mhm.
They have an age and these executives are coming up much younger now. So you dealing with a lot. It's not the same the way it used to be. So that's why I
Mhm.
even said the first question with the management question. It's like this is like a hands-on, hands-off type of type.
Yeah.
You
To
feel
each
me?
his own. I feel that. I'm glad you said what you just said though. Before I throw it to Naja for the fun questions about going out to the open mics and sitting in and listening, right? That's
Mhm.
no different than if you had your own business. You know, they say shop
Yeah.
your competition. You got to
Mhm.
find out what people doing that do the same thing that you do and how they're doing it and how they're successful, how you're going to make it different to make it unique to yourself, all of those different things. So you even have to do that on the aspect of no matter what market you're in, but being an
Yeah.
entrepreneur, at least being a business owner, you have to research those type of things too. So
Yeah.
it's no different. It's still a job, like you
You
said.
need to be different. Like you need to be different. Like it's too many people. Well, there used to be, but it's too many people that was trying to be the same person that we already got in the industry. We don't need another Thug. We got a Thug. We don't need another Durk. We got a Durk. We didn't need another Chief Keef. We had a Keef. We didn't need another Tink. We had a. We didn't need everybody's trying to do the same, mimic the same exact thing that they saw. We already got them to where they need to be.
Now, what's new? What's hot? What's trending?
What's going to set you apart? And how do you create a cult following? And how do you create a community that's going to support you? The goal in the music industry is to get people's, I can't say the word, but people's butts in seats.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to get people's body in the building.
Yeah.
It ain't about nothing else.
I tell them that all the time.
You want to get booked. You want to get booked. It ain't about everything else that you thinking it's about. It ain't about that. It's about, okay, I want to be the next Kendrick, or we don't need another Kendrick. Or I want to get that many people in the stadium like how Beyonce did.
Right.
Strategically, her team always works on how do we get these many people in these seats. That is with every big artist that you see. It's about the arenas. It's not you start out in a lounge, you're trying to get to a festival. You start out at a festival, you're trying to get overseas. You start out overseas, you're trying to get back booked in these arenas. But you got to give us something. That record that you have that you think you hate performing all the time, but that's the record that everybody messing with. That is going to be your last record that you perform everywhere because that's the record that found you. Because sometimes people don't even understand it's about the music that finds you. And the only way that a manager is going to work is if you have music that's going to make us work. If you don't have any music, there's nothing for me to come work for. If you don't have no music and you don't have a book of business, you do not need a manager. You still need to grind and hustle and do everything that you need to do. So I think just understanding like this is a business. This is and there's too many critics out here now. They're gonna tell you if your stuff is trash, and they're gonna tell you if your stuff is good, and they're gonna support you. But the biggest thing is just think about like how can I get people to come support me in these venues?
Yeah.
And that's
I told them these venue owners don't care about your music. The music could be trash. If you can get people to come in, purchase, buy from the bar, sit in them seats, buy food, and they servers making money and they happy, that's all they care about. They
all they care about. They don't care what your song sound like. If you got some merch, if you got merch and it's selling, they care about what is attached to you that's going to sell. They don't care about nothing else. Now, you might have a good record or whatever, but if you are a person that can just get people in the building and somebody's willing to pay, if one person is willing to pay for something from your brand, then guess what? 50 more people are willing to pay for something from your brand. It takes work to go find out who your people are. Advertisement. Like people be tripping because they don't want to be on social media. Please shut up. What do you don't want this?
Because that's free. That's free marketing.
And times have changed because people used to have to pay. People used to have to pay for marketing and just have it. You know what I mean? Now it's free. Like everything is specifically free for you, and people do not even want to be able to do that. They don't even They don't even want to do that. They just want to complain like, oh, I don't want to get on social media. Oh, I don't want to post this. Oh, I don't like the aesthetics of this. Aesthetic these. Okay, first off.
That part, I'm with you. Especially when you got apps like Hootsuite and stuff like that you can schedule your post out, and you don't even have to physically do it yourself every 2 minutes or whatever, you know. So
it's crazy. It's a job. It's a job. So,
Well,
we got to wrap up, but I'm gonna let Naja throw a couple of fun questions over your way.
Okay.
Well, yeah. You know, I had to, tend to some business, but Lyrical, man, I definitely appreciate everything you done said, man. Look, if anybody don't listen to this, kill yourself. You know what I mean? Straight like that. All right, look, check it. This is the first one. Hip hop, R&B. Which vibe do you feel connected to right now?
90s R&B.
Okay.
I feel that everybody usually say that it's something about that 90s R&B.
It's just something about the nostalgia of the song. Just the like I'm in my office now, and sometimes you just gotta You just got to vibe, because I think everybody right now wants to be quiet.
Yeah.
The world is super loud.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we want to listen to stuff quiet. Like I need peace. Don't interrupt my zone and my flow. But yeah, if it for me, 90s R&B, and I'm an R&B girl. I'm in the hip hop world for sure. But I'm a bamboo earring, hat wearing, like hair in a ponytail. I'm all of what LL Cool J described. 100%.
Nah.
100%.
Me
Yeah,
around
yeah,
like
see?
girl. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's my jam. You know what I'm saying?
Listen to it today. Yep.
Yeah, that's for real. That's that baby making music. That whole era, you know, it's
Yeah,
a lost art in a sense.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Vinyl records or digital records?
Oh my God. So I'm back in the vinyls. I got vinyls all.
I see the ones on the wall right there. I see Bob Marley.
I got a stack right here. Vinyls, because it just bring back the 90s. It bring back like when you was with your parents.
Yeah,
I agree. Just was playing records. It bring back when you was messing with the needle. You ain't had no business touching that record.
Yeah, I agree.
Leave that alone. So now it's like more so the aesthetic of it, because it's the cool vibe. But definitely vinyls for me. Definitely.
Love it. We're gonna have to invite you to the record store. We're gonna be over at the record store doing live podcast interviews.
Yes, I'm moving back to Atlanta.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I just forgot you in Chicago. I'm talking to you like
wait, let me say this. So I lived in Atlanta for 10 years. I just moved in January. I came back to open up a daycare. So now that I got it doing what it needs to do, I'll be back. Yeah.
Well, let me know when you get here.
I will.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, speaking of then, Chicago's Raw Energy or Atlanta ATL Creative Pulse? Which one influenced you more?
How do they differ? How does Chicago differ from Atlanta to you? Like, and which one do you like?
Boy, we don't got the time.
Let me tell you what I tell people about Atlanta. Let me tell you what I tell. I'm gonna always be a Chicago girl to my heart, and I love it because it's where I'm here. So it's I'm here. My blood is here. Yeah. Atlanta is. So 3 of my sisters live in Atlanta. We all, when we were smaller, like, oh, we moving to Atlanta because we want to drink some tea. We saw the color purple, not the movie, and these big hats. So when we grew up, it was like, oh, that's Savannah, right? But it was in our spirit. Atlanta is, for me, is like a big hug. It's a peace beyond all understanding for me. I don't know what it is. It just keep calling me. So it's like I got to come back because it wants me back there. But it's like it's a nurturing feeling. Chicago, the crib is like, it's so beautiful. The people are amazing. The food is amazing.
It's missing something.
It's cold. It's cold.
Yeah, it's cold for sure.
It's cold, and it's just home for me. I mean, it's home. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. I love it. But when you have the chance to travel as much as I've traveled and experienced different things, Atlanta just is a nook for me. Like it's like a big warm fuzzy coat with big fuzzy Uggs and a big hot chocolate for me though. For me, I love Georgia. So I don't know, but they're both amazing places. They both tend to be dangerous. Like, whatever. Everything is dangerous. It don't matter.
It don't matter where you go. We from St. Louis, and it's dangerous up there.
Dangerous over there. It's dangerous at the White House. What difference do it make?
That part.
Yeah. So.
They got drugs and everything up in there.
They got unbelievable things that happen in there.
Okay.
That's funny.
Well, look, we really appreciate your time today. We appreciate you being in the building and being here with us. We'll air. We will give you all the information behind that. But everybody that is listening, all of our supporters and followers, can you tell them how they can find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Lyrical. You can find me on TikTok at Lyrical's Heart. You can always DM me. You can find me through my clients. which a lot of people do. I do not give out my email. I do not give out my phone number. So the best part,
I don't even know how I got your
the
email.
best part, you hit me on Instagram. You did.
That's how. I was showing
You
like, because
did?
I remember you didn't have the email link on the
Oh
page.
yeah, listen. So many people in this world want me to manage them. I cannot. I cannot. So yeah, social media is the best way to actually get to me. I'll see it. I might not see it right away, but I'm definitely gonna see it, or my assistant to see it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, this was a pleasure. I appreciate you so much. I wish you the best of success on your
Thank
way back down
you.
here. I can't wait to see
Thank
you in
you.
person. So let us
Yeah,
know.
I definitely
And,
will.
and y'all know what it is, the Gumbo Show. We are going to go into this commercial break real quick. So y'all don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. All right, Miss Lyrical. I just ended